Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at our recent Queso Cup games yesterday against Qlash. So with the meta changing so much, I thought it'd be really cool to just break down some competitive gameplay, because the meta, as I said, has just completely changed. There's loads of new brawlers in the game right now. Loads of meta brawlers like Gene, for example, have switched up how to play a lot of different modes right now. So I'll be bringing you guys some competitive gameplay, breaking it down, saying why we picked certain picks. Without further ado, let's jump into it. So before we jump into today's video, G Fuel is 10% off at the G Fuel checkout. So I'd really appreciate it if you use my code if you're looking to get some G Fuel during the festive time. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright guys, so jumping into the first game, it's a bit off-centered because like an idiot, I didn't actually record the games in game, which next time I'll do for sure. So we have to go back to the VOD here over on Twitch, which Ark actually streams it if you're looking for an English caster. So the bands for this one were actually Colt and Colette and B and Mr. P. So Colt really good in the meta right now. B is absolutely insane as well as Mr. P as well. And I actually like this hot zone map. It's actually quite interesting. But for some reason, we decided to use Frank, and they already captured a zone. That 8-bit and Barley pick was just insane from them. Lou is just insane on the hot zone. I've already spoke about it enough times. And with the recent announcement of hot zone coming into competitive for next season, I'm quite excited. As long as we add a few decent maps, hot zone actually is a really fun mode, to be honest. A lot of pro players were really skeptical to begin with. But after trying it out, after the meta changing a lot, and with 4 bans in play, the hot zone meta is actually really fresh. It's actually really good. But the thing that costs us about this game is that we use Frank. Frank just gets completely hard countered by Lou. There's nothing you can really do at all. And then you've got that Barley and 8-bit on Nita. It's really hard to deal with. It's near enough impossible for us to do too much. So they just literally take that game really easily. Let's hop into the next game. All right, so jumping into the next game, you can see we already switched straight off the Frank. I kind of thought that would be a decent counter to like Jackie or Rosa. That's what they kept running in terms of competitive and scrims. But we switched it up. We went with Surge on Jackie. I'm not too sure how Jackie's losing to a Surge. Jackie should always be a Surge, especially in that closed lane. The tanks are really good down that left-hand lane. Running Frank, as I said, and Tom can just keep the Frank back so easily. Nita's so underrated. Even in hot zone on this lane, it's just absolutely insane. There's nothing that Frank can really do. Tom can just keep farming supers over and over again, especially when Guille is just opening up the wall even more. It's just going to be even easier. You can see I'm just completely dominating with Lou here. Lou is absolutely insane. I just love using him. He's actually a really fun brawler to pick, but against it's actually really toxic. That super covers our whole zone, and it can just keep people out there for, I think it's 10 seconds. It's actually on there. Really underrated pick for sure, especially when you've not got Gene in the meta as well. You can see, yeah, just getting absolutely destroyed by the Nita there. Nothing he can really do. He can probably use his supers a little bit better, but when he's got, when Tom's got me pinching as well, he's just going over and over again, cycling. Yeah, Frank just not the best at all. You can see Tom's just running all the way back, not feeding Guille's super, and just winning lane quite comfortably. We've basically got a zone on, well, we actually have got a zone over that side. Semantic's going to help Tom on the other lane there, so nothing really Qlash can do. Semantic going in and finishing that one off. So it's 1-1 currently in this set. Let's hop into the next game. All right, guys, so jumping into the final set of the final game of the first set, which is hot zone. And we actually went with their comp instead. So we went for the 8-bit Barley Lou. It's actually a really good combination. You've got an 8-bit and Barley double stack in their lane, especially against Anita. Barley's just going to completely dominate. Tom absolutely went off in this game, if I remember correctly. Then I'm going to be basically 1v2ing my lane against an 8-bit. And Lou hasn't really got the damage output against 8-bit, but when you combine him with his super, 8-bit, it's just going to be feeding Lou over and over again. That's not what you don't want at all. So I'm able to get Gear down there. I'm actually doing a really good job 1v2 versus these guys. There's just no way that Nita can really do anything against an 8-bit and a Barley. Like, Barley just hard counters the hell out of Nita, especially on this map when there's no wall break. We've got no wall break at all. There's nothing they can really do. I'm not too sure why they went for the Nita pick, because it was quite clear that we weren't going to run like a tank again, because we just got completely wrecked in the first one. And we didn't really prepare that well for Queso Cup. We're not really scrimmed it too much. It's actually a game like every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So really quick games. We don't really have time to constantly scrim too much within this one. But you can see I get Trevor down there as well. And I'm just having so much fun with Lou. Lou's probably going to be like my new one trick in terms of Gene. Gene's not meta at all anymore. Lou's probably like a top 10 brawler. So maybe Lou's going to be my new one trick. We'll wait and see. Able to close off the super as well. Tom just completely wrecking his lane. I just love the gadget from Lou. Really underrated. You can tank so many shots, waste so many pieces of ammo. Semantic now helping me with the lane because Tom can just keep that Nita back so easily. I'm just going to look for the cycle on Guille and lose a really good counter, especially to like 8-bit and Palm. 8-bit and Palm are so dominant in the meta at the moment. And with the tankier brawlers, Luke can just feed his super so much easier. So that looks like it's going to be a win for us. So completely dominating performance inside of that one. We actually stole the comp from Qlash. Really good comp. Let's hop into the next map. Alright guys, so jumping into the first game of Gem Grab Hard Rock Mine. So you can see we're running a really like smash and grab type of deck in the fact that we've got Poco Double Tank. So Poco Double Tank is still really good in the meta and people just don't really expect it anymore. And it's still super strong, especially against the likes of Piper, Sandy. These are the type of comps that Qlash like to play, and we also like to play a lot of Mortis. So that's why we brought out the Bull and the Rosa to be really good against Mortis. Mortis is really good in this meta. If you bring out the Poco Double Tank, it's going to go to the town, especially with a Bull. People are probably wondering why we're going Bull, but it's mainly to counter the Mortis. So really good pick, and especially when you've got that Bull gadget to pop the extra health as well. It's just so hard to actually kill him. So really good kill from Semantic there. Tom's doing a good job with the Rosa. Rosa's more of just just a brawler, especially with the bushes on Hard Rock Mine. As I've said a lot of times, Rose is really underrated, especially on this map, because you just keep placing the bushes everywhere and she just catch you off guard just like that. You can just see I actually missed the heal on Tom there, didn't actually realize, but look how much pressure we've got. We've just got Tom going in town on their spawn. We can't really do too much. You got the pop of super there. I'm actually already nearly on our way to winning. It's just so hard for them to do anything. Now they've got a bit of control, so this is where it's really hard. We've got an 8-bit turret in mid, and Piper, I believe, in that 8-bit turret does about the ambush damage. I think it's around 3k with that 8-bit. That's just insane. Imagine that with ambush as well. You can like 4k near enough anyone. I believe that is around the damage you can do. See Semantic coordinating a push. He dives in there. I get a really clutch heal. He just goes in and kills the Piper. That gives us a lot of leeway because it's only Sandy left. So Sandy's just not going to do anything against Poco Double Tank. It will just be tickling the Rosa basically. So really well played from us. Coordinated push to get it back. When you lose control like that, you just need pinches down the lane and then Poco to come in with the heals. So looking like we're going to be taking the first gem grab game right there. Let's hop into the next game. Alright guys, so jumping into the next gem grab game. So we went for the same comp. So a lot of the times people don't realize, especially when we run the same comp, they're like, oh, why don't you switch off? It's too obvious to stay the same. But you also got to think about it on this point of view. We try to call like a double bluff. So maybe like teams, you got to use a lot of mind games in competitive. Maybe teams are like, oh, they just ran this comp. There's no way they're going to run that comp again. So we kind of think, oh, heck, let's just go the same comp again and just absolutely destroy them. And it kind of backfired because they ran Spike Fertilize, which should, in relative terms, just absolutely destroy us. But the reason why we got Rosa is because Rosa can do pretty good against control comps as well. We could have ran like a Jackie or something like that, but we would have stood near enough no chance with them breaking up the map and whatnot. So 8-bit with that damage turret should be really good against this. So should Piper. I think Trevor might be running ambush, and it's why you just never run ambush, to be honest. I'd never used to run ambush anyway, just because in case of the tankier brawlers, if they get in a bush, like even for Cole, for example. Cole used to be really meta. Not so much meta at the moment, but Cole used to be 6k HP brawler. If he's running on your face and you've got ambush, you're not going to be able to take him down. But if you've got snappy sniping, especially with the recent buff, you're going to be taking down tanks so much easier. So see me coordinating the push down that hand side. You just need to be a bit, I don't even know what to say. You just need to be a bit adventurous. You need to do something out of the box, which you don't expect. They don't expect a Poco to go aggro against us. You can see I basically nearly kill the Spike there, I believe. And now we're going to do it again. We're going to go down the lane and surprise. You can see they're like, where the hell's the Poco? And you can just see me near enough killing the Spike there. He's one shot, so pushed him all the way back. Tom with a good use of the super, able to get the Piper. And we're actually nearly managed to get these gems out, but it went for a Guille clutch. It's just so hard to get that 8-bit down. He's just got so much DPS. Literally, look how close he is to death. 168 HP, and there's just no way. We've got an 8-bit turret, they've got a Spike. It's just so hard to really do anything at that point in time. Probably could have gone a little bit aggro, but to be fair, probably would have killed me. I didn't want to just completely throw all the gems away. Probably if it was a bit of do or die, probably should have just gone all in to get them gems. But unfortunately, we weren't able to get that. And somehow, against this comp, we still nearly won. So literally by narrow margins, the smallest or not margins, we actually managed to lose that one. Let's hop into the next gem drop game. Alright guys, so going into the next game then. So we've switched to a Rico. Rico's really good down the lane on Hard Rock Mine, and it's decent counter to 8-bit because of how slow he is, and he's good to tanks. That's why we ran the Rico, then we run the Piper with snappy sniping. Still okay against tanks as long as you work down with your teammates and open up the map. Semantic going a little bit too aggro because he gets pinched by the Piper. Tom's just trying to slowly get his turrets against the Spike lane, which is really hard matchup for 8-bit because Spike can just keep his range really easily and also stay behind a wall. So Tom's going to look to try and get a pinch with me. Trevor, not too sure why he really did that, because as soon as I noticed he went down the lane of Semantic, he just gave me like free gems, which a lot of Pipers tend to make that mistake. I sometimes used to make that mistake. But it's all about gem control. You got to sometimes look for the pinch on the lane, but you got to focus mainly on them gems. Because just see, I've got 5 gems for literally no reason. I didn't even have to do anything. Didn't really hit any shots at the moment. So I broke open the lane of Spike. You just see me absolutely go into town there, hitting everyone, tapping them all up. Semantic doing a really good job there. I actually think manages to, yeah, I got a snipe on Trevor, and his super bounce. He's able to finish him off. So really good performance from us there. Really coordinating the push and getting them all down. And Piper in this meta is absolutely beautiful, especially with his snappy sniping. Just see me just tapping them all up. Insane synergy and teamwork from us. So we managed to take the gem grab set as well. So it's 2-0 up at the moment. Let's hop into the next set. Alright guys, so going into Backyard Bowl. I believe he actually missed quite a bit of the beginning of this game, which is a bit unfortunate. But the actual comps that people go on this map, 8-bit, Pam, and then normally like a Piper, Nanny, something like that in the middle, especially with the bands of Colt, Colette, Mr. P, and I've actually forgot the other band already. I don't even know how. I think it was B or something like that. So you can just see, normally it's actually B. Yeah, normally it's B. Normally it's like the Gadget Warfare at the beginning. So we just got pressure back really quickly there. That's mainly due to the fact that I missed quite a few shots in the beginning. I don't think I actually got to see that. Not too sure, but I missed a lot of shots. And with Piper, you've got to be hitting them shots consistently. Also going to be pushing you like this. And Guille and Chaos and Elaine all push together really strongly. So that's obviously a big downfall to Piper. If you're missing your shots, you're not going to get your ammo back. And Piper has a really low reload speed. So definitely my fault in that fact. And that we lost a lot of control. Elaine does a really good job there. He's actually using the shield star power. I have no idea why he's using that one. That is not the better star power for sure. Just because he can't even one-shot anyone. He can't even one-shot a Piper. It's like 2.8k damage. It's basically pointless to use that star power. I don't even know a good use to it, to be honest. He actually manages to open up the wall there, but they're going to score regardless, which is a bit unfortunate. But as long as we get a good respawn and good response, it doesn't really matter, because we're spawn trapped. It's so hard to actually get out of that, especially with Backyard Bowl. It's all about the pressure. So I'm going to try and get some shots on Gear here. I do push up quite aggro. I break up the lane. But they're just playing so good. We're going to keep the Nanny on the 8-bit turret, which is fair play to them. But at the minute in the game, especially with a lot of different bans when Pam and 8-bit, etc. isn't banned, it's just basically turret warfare at the moment. The Pam healing is just insane. The 8-bit damage now is insane. And when you combine this also with Nanny's head, it actually deals a lot of damage. So Tom does a really nice job there. I just tank it. I remember Semantic just constantly calling, you can tank it, but there's no way we're going to get the ball out of the corner. So that's going to be a loss for us, unfortunately. They just completely dominated in this one. Let's hop into the next game. All right, guys, so hopping into the next game of this set. So they've kept with the same comp, which is fair enough. We tried to experiment a little bit with Brock. As I said, not really scrim too much, but Brock with the gadget is still really good, especially on this map, because you can just break those 2 sets of walls either side. And with 8-bit and Pam, they're not going to be able to put their turrets there anymore. So that was kind of the way we're going to go around this. We've got Piper and Brock for the wall break. And once, obviously, 8-bit hasn't got a turret, it's so easy to kill 8-bit. Pam is just really tanky, just so good on Backyard Bowl anyway before the buffs. Now she's received a lot of buffs. She's going to be even more insane. So Semantic, really nice job there. I got a nice kill as well. I was just completely popping off inside of this one, just hitting every single one. So the one mistake here from watching the VOD back already before this, we should have got that ball out of there, which is a huge mistake, as I said. Because now it's stuck there. We could have got the ball, got ball possession, and then team wiped again and scored. But now the ball's stuck there. It's going to be really hard unless we combine really, really well. Which is a really good ball corner there. So I was completely lost for thought there. But don't actually manage to get gear there. I somehow missed quite a few shots. And here is where I mess up. I actually somehow didn't have enough ammo. And then somehow Linane just clutches up. That is just an insane save. 85 HP. That is insane. I don't know what I could have done really better, because he survived on 85 HP. I would have scored that if he died, which is just so dumb. I remember literally screaming in VC. I just couldn't believe how he managed to save that. So props to Linane. He's able to actually save that there, but then it just gets collapsed on the respawn there. So I got my own back a little bit in that sense. So now we need to push the 8-bit back. He is actually such a good 8-bit. He's a really aggro 8-bit. And to be honest, you wouldn't think of 8-bit as an aggro brawler, but he plays it really well. He pushes up, uses the pressure. He knows he's got a lot of HP. It takes a while to get 8-bit down. And 8-bit is just so good in this meta. You guys need to be using him, especially on the open maps. It's just insane as a lane brawler. So now we're going to be trying to get Chaos down. But look at the heals. It's just staying alive for so long. Palm's so strong in this meta. And I believe here I do actually manage to go down. So Gia with some nice shots and Linane. They coordinate this really well. Linane hit some nice shots, being able for them to score. And it's unfortunate because we completely dominated near enough in this game. And we're somehow on the back end of it. So 15 seconds left. We can still do it as long as I dodge a lot of shots. It's hard to constantly dodge, and I do manage to worm my way up, dodging like 5 consecutive shots there. And then just one shot. Guille just aiming for me in the background. He knows that if I can't pass the ball up, there's no way we can actually score. So we do manage to lose the Brawl set. Let's hop into the next set. Alright guys, so moving on to Siege, and again they're already late to the beginning, so apologies for not showing the beginning of this round. We can see both teams have got a mirror matchup here, so instead of Jean, it's Lou. So I'm gonna have to be a one-trick Lou now, aren't I? Jean just completely out of the meta. He's not even banned. He's just not good at all. He's too punishing. If you miss a pull, it takes 4 shots to get back. So yeah, Rip Jean, never really gonna be used in competitive at all at the moment. But it's all about adapting it as a pro player. Some people, well, Jean basically is one of my one tricks. I'm so good with him, but I can still play other brawlers pretty easily. So we're able to stun the Jackie here. So the one thing about Lou, he's got really slow reload speed, so it's actually hard to get a lot of different brawlers down. But you just see me cycling over and over again. Poor Trevor, he's just stuck on the walls. So toxic, so funny there. So I'm able to get that bolt there, which is really important. So instead of it being 5-0, it's now 4-1. So now it's only a 3 bolt deficit. That could have been a 5 bolt deficit and much harder for us to win the last round. Actually, we do manage to get another one. So only 56%. You just see Lou's just insane at defenders. So really nice kill from Tom there. Now the bolts are going into mid. Do manage to get some nice shots off. Smart's playing a really good Jackie here. And you just see me cycling. It's all about probably sticking onto the tanks as a Lou. You want to stay away from Barley because Barley can deal with Lou pretty well. It's all about farming them supers, all about cycling over and over again, and manage to get some nice shots onto Linane there. And we're able to take the final robot. So we're going to be winning that Siege game pretty comfortably. Apologies about the beginning again, but it was just really dominant display from us. Let's hop into the next game. Alright guys, so hopping into the next Siege game. The same comps again. There's not really too much that can actually counter this comp with these specific bans. So Smatic's able to get that first bolt, which is pretty important. It's not as important as it was before, but still really important, especially in the mirror matchup engagement. So Lane's going to go way too aggro there. Not too sure what he's doing. There's just no way he's going to be able to get out with that bolt there without support from the Barley. And we just completely dominate inside of the first Siege round. And as I said, this is where we just dominate. Siege is one of our best modes for sure. And even with the meta adapting with, as I said, Jean, the main Siege brawler, going out of the equation, you just got to learn to quickly adapt. And it's all about the positioning. So you can just see this robot, the really OP thing about Lou. You can see it gets stuck against a wall, and it's a really good mechanic in terms of Siege defending. You need to get that super close to the wall, keep getting the stuns off, and the robot's just going to get stuck there over and over again. So not too much we can do. We just got to keep control. I'm going to throw my super there just to make sure that Barley's going to have a tough time down his lane against Tom. Tom's just absolutely clapping his lane again. Tom is an insane Barley. Barley was not in the competitive meta before the balance changes. Now Barley, I'm happy to see Barley back in the Siege meta because Tom, probably the best Barley, well, definitely the best Barley in the world. It's just insane. I've never really seen him lose lane, to be honest. It's just insane to have that good of Barley on our team. And now you just see he's going to town. 2 more kills with the Barley there. We're able to get the other robot. So it's all about control on this one, all about bolt management, coordinating our pushes. So I remember telling Smantic, just go straight on that Jackie. We need the matchup. We don't want their Jackie on our Barley. We need a Jackie versus Jackie interaction. And I'll be helping him. So you can just see my super. It just makes it so Trevor just can't go towards that zone. Because if he goes in the zone, he's going to get stunned. And that's just going to give us more time to actually kill him. And again, we're just able to dominate. So really dominating performance from us. We're able to take the whole game 3-1. GG's to Qlash. They played really well. That was an epic series. Alright guys, it's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you really enjoyed. That was some really good competitive gameplay. And as I said, every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the Queso Cup is on, and it'll be on Arc's Twitch, so make sure to check that one out and support us along. I think it's at 8 PM GMT time, the matches start, so definitely give us some love in terms of that one, but some good competitive gameplay. I've missed competitive for sure. I can't wait for the season to start again, but let me know what you think of the meta so far in the comment section below. I'm kind of liking it. It's really spiced up. All the different options. I'm really enjoying it again. At least it's not like a gadget warfare from the last meta. But that's going to be the end of today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.